thing I would say to you is if you want to make people cry or feel things at home with documentaries, don't have anyone cry. Don't show people crying. You want to hold on to that emotion. What it means is then the audience have to try and they then take that responsibility on their shoulders, and so they'll start crying for you.
It's not just about the technical aspect of mixing sound or making sound happen. Of course, you've got to have an understanding of how all that works, but the ability to be able to communicate with people, tell them what you need, and when people say, okay, no, that's too expensive, how can we work around it, being able to negotiate with them. When things go wrong, being able to remain calm.
Yep. The headline is less is more, isn't it? I think is with sort of sound is so important of, you know, sort of having that emptiness and that space and the sort of the chillingness of just hearing the clock and the ticking and the bird.
Learning to light properly is probably more important than the camera fiddly stuff is initially.
Filmmaking needs a bit of dogma. Sometimes you need to give yourself a wall to push a film against, because otherwise it could be anything and you just go mad then. It could be, especially in docs, it could just go on forever.
As a sound person, you've got to take the negative as a huge positive, and I then go on talk about and say, we were great. We were absolutely great. Nobody noticed us. That means we did a brilliant job. It's only when it goes wrong you notice sound. You've got to have the confidence as a, if you like, crew supervisor to know that if people have kept quiet, it's actually the ultimate compliment.
Sometimes I cut without the sound, so I just
submerge.
And sometimes, and then sometimes I sort of get halfway through the scene and the sort of scene's sort of working or not working, and I'll bring some music to it and I'll put the music on, and that will sort of influence how I start using the shots or stay on shots, and they sort of go together. And then sometimes, and then at the end of it, that music's really influenced that scene, and I'll take the music away and completely change it and then move it.
Getting in with the directors early when they're, you know, your contemporaries and they're just starting out on spec projects, it's very, very rare. I think probably either of us work for a director that's completely new to us. If you can form a strong base of people who you come up with, they will be the people who will be calling you when they get the big one, hopefully.
If you decide, if you're doing a philosophy degree and you decide, I actually want to do sound, it's never too late to go back and to change and do it.
Go out and make films, but more importantly, from a documentary point of view, get a great story, get a great subject, and just go out and do it. It doesn't have to be far from home. There's stories all around us. And collaborate with people. Filming's a collaboration. Get a good mate who's a sound man. Get a friend as a director, and the three of you go out and collaborate. And it's much better if you all go out and make a film rather than you go out on your own and try and do it on your own.
I'm a more informed and rounded human being for having worked in broadcasting. It's just been a privilege, and if you can get to do it, I would really, really say you should go for it. If you fancy it, please go for it. And also, trust your gut and don't be put off. Be ambitious. If you want to do it, push, push, push. That's what gets you in.